Yo, what's going on, good people? What's going on? What's going on? Peace and love. How you doing? How you doing? How we doing out there? How are we doing out there in the world? What is happening? Peace and love. Happy Thursday. Happy thriving and therapeutic Thursday. You know how this thing go. We are getting the phone live as well, and we are going to start the show. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, good people of the world, good people of the world. What is happening? Peace and love. Happy, thriving, and therapeutic Thursday. It is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. It is 2025. We're still here, still thriving, still going, still alive, man, still pushing in the face of all of the adversity, in the face of all of the doubt, in the face of all of the stuff, man. We continue to persist. We continue to go forward. What's going on, IG people? We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Instagram is on my phone. Facebook and YouTube is here on the laptop through StreamYard. Um, yeah, peace and love. Peace and love. I'm just hitting the share button, sharing it inside of my story. So those who see the story in the next 30 minutes can check in. What's going on, Anna? What's going on, Sherry B? Peace and love. Peace and love. Mona Love. What's going on, baby girl? What is happening? What's the deal? What's going on? We got a cool show lined up today. Happy, thankful, therapeutic, and thriving Thursday. Sending love and good vibes. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugary Marston. You are tuned into episode 286 of SR Daily. SR Daily, where personality meets enlightenment. On this Thursday, January 23rd. The month is already almost over. We're almost in Black History Month, almost 1 month in to the new year. I hope that you guys are well on track to accomplish your goals. I hope that you are feeling good. I hope that you are feeling loved. I hope that you are feeling strong. I hope that you are feeling confident. I hope that you are feeling aligned. Right. I think the most important thing is feeling aligned, and alignment comes with understanding that it's not always growth season. Sometimes it's the season to be planted. Sometimes it's the season to be watered. Sometimes it's the season just to have another light shine on you. That's a lesson. That's the wisdom right there. Sometimes it is not meant for you to sprout. It is not your season, your sprouting season. It is the season for you simply to have light shone on you. That could be light from your brother, light from your sister, light from your parents, light from your children, light from your spouse, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, light from your uncle, light from your cousin, light from a stranger. Sometimes it's meant for you to just sit in the darkness and absorb all of the light. Don't try to sprout. Don't try to grow. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt yourself if you sprout before it's time. This is some divine wisdom right here, guys. This is some divine wisdom before the show really gets started. I hope you're taking it, because it's a time to be planted and it's a time to sprout. However, there is a waiting period. There is a period of dormancy when the seed is just laying dormant. However, because we know that things are always in motion, something is always happening, something is always brewing. The blade of grass is always in the process of growing. The beanstalk is always in the process of growing. The all of it is always in the process. A baby, conception, and then birth doesn't just happen. There is a process. Everything has a process. From night to day and from day to night, we see the process. We can literally track the movement of the sun and the movement of the moon from day to night and night to day. Everything has a process. What makes you think you don't? What makes you think you don't? And so, getting started with the show, we're going to go right along to our word of the day. Today's word of the day is indeed process. Today's word of the day is indeed process. King J. Ton, what's going on, my brother? Share B, quote that it's a time to be planted. Absolutely. It's a time to be planted, and there is a time to be harvested. However, there's a time to lay dormant and just to allow the light to hit you. But the word of the day today is process, and process is defined as a series of actions or steps taken to achieve a certain goal. A series of actions or steps taken to achieve a certain goal, a procedure, something you do in order to achieve a certain result. Something you do in order to achieve a certain result. Now, on yesterday's show, I spoke about how none of us have the ability to truly see into our own future. So we definitely can't see into the future of another. And because we can't see into the future, we don't know exactly what God, the divine, the universe has in store for us, right? We know what we feel. We know what we feel, right? Energetically, not feelings in terms of the heart, but we know what we can sense, right? We know our intuition, so we know. And we know that if we can imagine it, it's there for us. But we don't know the steps it's going to take to get there. So when I imagine running a $500 billion company, having employees all over the world, impacting people, driving social change, freaking building community, right? When I envision that, that's for me. That $500 billion company is there for me. I'm 40 years old, about to be 41. I can absolutely accomplish that in the next 20 to 30 years, without a shadow of a doubt. I can build that company. However, because I don't have that divine keen foresight, I can't see everything. I can see some things. I can see if I make this step, okay, that can happen, that can happen. But I don't know exactly what can happen. I don't know exactly what will happen. And I don't know what thing happens, right? What thing that will happen that will maybe, it may be a good thing that happens that I go into it and then it's something bad after, or maybe a so-called bad thing that happens and I lean into it, something good happen. I don't know. I don't know what's what. And so we trust the freaking process. I say it all the time. Many people say it all the time. Trust the process. This is your key. Is your faith stronger than your doubt and fear? Is your faith stronger than your doubt and fear? If it is not, let's get it there. If your faith is not stronger than your doubt and your fear, then let's work together to get it there, because your faith should be the most important thing. The most important thing you have is your vision, right? Your vision and faith in that vision, right? Whether that's a vision of living to old age, right? Living to 80, 90, 100 years old. You got to have faith in that vision. If that's me building that $500 billion company, I got to have unyielding faith in that vision. If that's the vision of us getting married, right? My lady and I getting married and living to old age, we got to have faith in that vision. You got to have faith in that vision. Don't just have the vision and then have doubt, because then you're doing yourself a disservice and you are showing that you really don't believe in God. You don't believe in the divine. You don't believe that your ancestors got you. You don't believe that the universe is perfect. You don't believe. And it's okay to have periods of doubt. We all have them. We all have periods where we feel uncertain, where we feel like things are not going how we want them to be going, when things seem a little bleak and things seem seemingly impossible. The road, the mountain seems insurmountable. That's when we take baby steps. That's when we lean into the process. The process is not a overnight thing. It is step by step, step by step. Some steps are going to be bigger than others. Some steps are going to be smaller than others. Sometimes you might get turned around and take 2-3 steps backwards. But the key is to never give up. The key is to never lose sight of your dreams, to never lose sight of your goals, to continue to persist, because persistence always and always overcomes resistance. Persist, persist, persist by any means necessary. If you got to crawl, crawl. If you got to run, run. If you got to take a baby step, take a baby step. Do what you need to do to move forward. Do what you need to do to actualize your dreams so that you are living in alignment with what God, the divine source energy, has for you, and for you. Trust your process, beloveds. Trust that, like I gotta trust, like I have trust now, and I didn't know then. I was 11, my dad passed. But if my dad doesn't pass when I'm 11, there's no saying that I'm alive still today doing what I'm doing. There's no saying. And so I trust that my dad's passing when I was 11 years old was for my ultimate benefit, was for my ultimate good. I developed a concept a few years ago. I learned some things, right? I learned my connection to the universe, my connection to the divine. Literally all that the stars and the planets are made of is inside of my body, right? So I am literally one with all of the elements, right? And once I realized that things don't happen to me. Everything is happening for me, even the pain, especially the pain, the most painful things, the most painful moments. My dad dying, me going to prison, me getting shot, me getting shot, me going to prison for 3 years, me getting divorced, my ex-wife asking for a divorce. All of that was for my ultimate benefit. All of it. The most painful things have the potential for you to bring out the most power if you can lean in, if you can embrace it, if you can get out of the woe is me mentality, a mindset that says, oh, this shouldn't be happening. Oh, life is supposed to be like this. No, life is what it is. And it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be painful. It's supposed to be tough. I've been saying it for the last week. Growth only happens when there's pain. Pain is an indication of growth. Pain is not a sign for you to stop. It is not a sign for you to give up. It is a sign for you to keep going. Get stronger. Don't stop. What do you want? And how bad do you want it? Trust the process, man. I'm fired up today, guys. I'm fired up today. I'm more excited than I've ever been. All right. But let's move right along to our second segment of the day. Today's second segment. This is why we need to trust the process, and this is why we need to lean in together, right? Because today's news is obviously not good news. Well, it's not obvious, but it's not good news, right? Need some news of the day. Trump puts all federal DEI employees on paid leave immediately. Immediately. Yo, this guy is crazy. And there are some people who will absolutely defend it, right? Let's read. This is from BBC. Trump puts all U.S. government diversity staff on paid leave immediately. This is 48 minutes ago. President Donald Trump has ordered that all U.S. government staff working on diversity, equity, and inclusion schemes be put on immediate paid administrative leave. On Tuesday, the White House confirmed that all federal DEI workers had to be put on leave by 1700 Eastern Standard Time the following day before the offices and programs in question were shut down. Ooh, baby. In an executive order also issued on Tuesday, Trump also called for an end to the dangerous, demanding, and immoral programs. Whoa, baby. Yo, crazy. And it's part of me, right? And some of you may not agree. It's part of me that understands. Not that I agree with it, not that I like it. No, but I understand. This is like, it's us. We got to take care of us. Stop going to these freaking companies depending on them. Stop going to these freaking companies depending on them to hire you and your babies. Build your own shit. Build your own shit. Build your own shit, man. Get with some friends and build it. Right? Like, okay, yeah, all companies should have diversity, equity, and inclusion. But then you forcing something. If they don't want to do it, don't beg them. Don't force somebody to want to hire me or my child or my beloved. No, I'm not forcing. We're not begging. We're not doing that. So we got to create our own, man. Let's keep reading. It is unclear how many people are affected by the order. The American Federation of Government Employees, AFGE, which represents 800,000 federal workers, said since his inauguration, the president has acted swiftly on a number of key pledges through a raft of unilateral actions, including a crackdown on DEI. In his inaugural address, he pledged to forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. Another executive, when most of the people in the wealthiest positions, right, in these companies, have the most capital, right, are white. All right, cool. Build our own. Another executive order preceding the one on Tuesday ordered. Another executive order preceding the one on Tuesday ordered. This is confusing. Declares the one on Tuesday ordered. Another executive order preceding the one on Tuesday ordered declares all DEI officers' positions and programs be terminated within 60 days. DEI programs aim to promote participation in workplaces by people from a range of backgrounds. Their backers say they address historical underrepresentation and discrimination against certain groups, including racial minorities, but critics say such programs can themselves be discriminatory. On Tuesday, a memo was sent from the U.S. Office of Personnel Management to the heads of government agencies instructing them to place DEI employees on leave. The memo's veracity was confirmed by White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt. It contained a number of requests, including that federal agencies submit by the end of the month a written plan for executing layoffs in DEI offices. A lot of people getting laid off. This is insane. Trump's executive order, meanwhile, took aim at what it called the illegal policies of DEI and DEIA, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, framing them as being in opposition to U.S. law. It said these policies had the capability to violate important underlying civil rights laws that protect Americans from discrimination. Analysis: 6 Trump executives ordered to watch. In-depth relationship pardons. Okay. The executive order requires federal hiring, promotions, and performance reviews reward individual initiative rather than DEI-related factors. It also requires the U.S. Attorney General to submit within 120 days recommendations to encourage the private sector to end similar diversity efforts. And the order revokes a civil rights era executive order signed by former President Lyndon B. Johnson that made it illegal for federal contractors to discriminate on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin when hiring. Trump went against that. This guy is dismantling everything. It's crazy. It's scary. We could say it's unfair. All of that, yes. One thing, as a builder, when everything is crumbled, it gives way for us to build again and to build anew. Because sometimes you got to throw the whole thing out and start over. Sometimes, right? Sometimes you got to get rid of everything and start anew, right? And this was later amended to also prevent discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. Revoking that order could have ripple effects in the federal and private sector, said Alvin Tillery, a political scientist and co-founder of the 2040 Strategy Group, which does DEI training in the private sector. He said that theoretically, a company with only white employees that now refuses to hire Black people or Latinos or women, for example, can go for a federal contract without showing that your processes are compliant with federal diversity standards. Insane. It could also eliminate training programs aimed at curbing discrimination or reinforcing positive behavior, critics say. People are going to be ill-informed about what discrimination is and what it looks like, said Les Alderman, a DC-based civil rights lawyer who represents federal and congressional workers. Good-hearted people are going to be wrong about some things that we do, and it is going to have consequences. Unions representing federal employees have condemned Trump's executive orders. The AFGE argues that diversity programs have reduced gender and racial pay disparities in the federal workforce and voiced its fear that Trump's order could turn federal hiring and firing decisions into loyalty tests. The order was designed to intimidate and attack nonpartisan civil servants, said National Federation of Federal Workers, National President Randy Irwin. It's tricky words. It's crazy, 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 right? Conservatives defended Trump's actions. They were a major milestone in American civil rights progress and a critical step towards building a colorblind society, Yukon Mike Zhao, the president of the Asian American Coalition for Education, told the New York Times. Affirmative action and woke DEI programs are racism in disguise. Whoa. Insane. Several large U.S. companies have ended or scaled back their DEI programs in recent weeks, including McDonald's, Walmart, and Facebook parent company Meta. Others like Apple and retailers Target and Costco have publicly defended theirs. Thank you. Sheesh. Mr. Tillery said that while he believes the former Biden administration efforts to add DEI positions across government was well-intentioned, it did not meet its goals. The DEI jobs were underfunded, understaffed. The people doing the work were heroes with very few resources, he said. But now we're going to go to zero. Crazy, 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 crazy is crazy. Mona Love said, is that a scam organization? Well, what organization? Is that not a scam organization? Oh, what? The feds you talking about? Good Foundation made a comment. Is that not a scam organization? Not sure what you're talking about. I wasn't looking at the comments. My bad. Said, yes, a lot of companies are letting go of their DEI departments. Yep. I believe that integration made us complacent as a people. We need to build back trust with each other so we can build the nation we envision. 100%, 100%, 100%. Mona Love, and I think Dr. King, who fought for integration, realized that when he said he integrated us into a burning building, right? We need to once again get back to innovating, to being creative, to innovating, to building companies for ourselves, for our children, right? Not dependent on people who don't like us, who don't love us, who don't respect us, who don't even see us as human, to provide for us and our families. As we've seen so many times, people don't care. Good Foundation. Anything put in place by LBJ or a president from decades ago should be reevaluated. I agree. Most of the DEIs are in place to discriminate against blacks and gays. I agree. No, things should definitely be evaluated, right? Things should definitely be reevaluated every couple of years, couple of decades, right? And yeah, it's tricky, right? And for me, one thing that I understand is that although and this is where compassion and empathy comes into play for your fellow human. Everybody doesn't have the same mindset. Everybody doesn't have the same understanding. Everybody doesn't have the same capabilities, right? So we show compassion for them, right? Although people may want to make certain changes and adjustments, understand how that will affect some people. Now, clearly, we live in a world where there's so many people, live in a country with so many people where everybody's not always going to be pleased, and you can't always please everyone. But I think personally, you have to always, always keep in mind the people who are most marginalized, the people who are most forgotten, who are most overlooked, who are most freaking treated unfairly, right? Unjustly, right? That's always my personal um advocacy and push, right? I know everyone doesn't have that same advocacy and push, and that's fine, right? That's why we build, that's why we connect, right? One Leaf, or what's going on? It's Lorraine on my auntie page. I don't know who Lorraine is, but what's going on? Official Empress of Blues, peace and love. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, that's the news of the day. It's crazy, it's real. But let's move right along to our tip of the day. Tip of the day, our third segment for today, our tip of the day always. And today's tip is to check your self-talk and make sure the conversations in your head are in alignment with what you want to be feeling and the direction you want your life to be headed. Tip for today: check your self-talk and make sure the conversations in your head, the conversations that you are having with yourself, are in alignment with what you want to be feeling and the direction you want to be headed, the direction you want your life to be headed. It can be tricky. Yes, doubt shows up for almost all of us at times as the desire to quit or give up on the thing we desire. But that's the purpose of mindset. Your thoughts control your feelings, right? If you can shift your thoughts to those that are higher vibrational, not to what if this doesn't happen? What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? Oh, I never win. To okay, I've been working hard. Okay, I've been working on myself. Okay, I've been practicing. Okay, I can do this. Even if it doesn't go the way I want it to go, I can bounce back. I can survive. I can thrive. I can create a different platform. I can create a different way, a different outlet. That's the purpose of mindset, right? Like you can shift your thoughts to those high vibrational. You can dictate your feelings and ultimately control the outcome of your situation. You can control the outcome of your situation by controlling your mind, controlling your thoughts, right? Shifting your mindset, right? It's true, you may not be able to control every single thing that happens to you, but you can absolutely control how you respond to the things that happen to you. I remember we did a life camp, I Love My Life concert 12, 13, 14 years ago. And one of the rappers that I think was at Boys and Girls High School, and one of the artists rapping, he said, in life, this was his rap. In life is not what happens to you, it's how you respond to what happens to you. In life is not what happens. I forgot, obviously, I'm not a rapper, so his flow was right. He said, but in life is not what happens to you, it's how you respond to what happens to you, right? And one gem to remember, I mentioned it, earlier, was something that I've learned over all of the things that I've experienced, that things are not happening to you, they are happening for you. You are one with the universe. You are one with God. God is always with you. You cannot be separate from that which is eternal. You can't. Don't let people tell you different. You cannot be separate from that which is eternal. You cannot be. So that means everything is happening for you. Everything is happening to move. The arrow of time only goes forward. So everything is only moving progressively. It's only moving forward. It's only making progress. It's only advancing, right? So this is why you got to trust your process when things don't feel good. When you lose that job and it's hard times, tap into your creativity. When you're having trouble in your relationship, right, and the marriage seems like it's falling apart, sit with it, meditate. It may be time to leave. Go on, go do something else. Go be by yourself, maybe. Right? We don't know. Yo, Spike Studio, what's going on? Yo, Lee Quan, what's going on, beloved? Thanks for tuning in. Yo, my brother, Mr. McFly, what's going on? What's going on, my brother? Sending some love, sending some positive vibes. You got to pull up on me sometime, man. Come over, come through, man. We're doing a food distribution today in Queensbridge. I don't know what you're up to, if you're at work or whatever, but be in Queensbridge about 11:30, 12 o'clock. My brother, come through and let's feed some people, give out some grocery boxes. But so unfortunately, I think most DEI orgs today are for gays and against blacks. Whoo, that's real. That's real. That's Good Foundation said, unfortunately, I think most DEI orgs today are for gays and against blacks. Whew, tough statement. Tough statement. I think there are some people that would agree. I think there are some people that would agree. I haven't necessarily been around a bunch of the DEI orgs. I know some people who work in them, right? But not much like personal direct experience. But what I've heard a lot of things where they have this in place, and they absolutely, still discriminate against black folks, right? Like you see, there's many articles about it. You see it all the time, right? And this is again why it's important to. We just finished Kwanzaa a couple weeks ago, right? Like get back to Kwanzaa, Kuchi Chagalia, right? All of them, Kumba, right? Use our creativity and our self-determination, have faith, define our purpose, right? Like collective working responsibility, cooperative economics, all of the things, right? Can anybody volunteer to give out food boxes? Yes, anybody can volunteer to give out food boxes. You can go, you can just show up with me, or you can go on the New York Cares website and you can search Connected Chef, right? And you can sign up to volunteer that way. That's the New York Cares website. Our volunteers, for the most part, sourced through, New York Cares, through our partnership with them. But yeah, you can definitely volunteer. So you can hit me up. I can see the info, but it's every Thursday, 12 o'clock to 1:30. Start, gathering the boxes and stuff by 11:30. Yes, New York Cares. You can Google them, go to the website. I don't know, I haven't been on the website like to check the exact like process, but I know that they facilitate our volunteers. Donnelly said, there are gay black people. Absolutely, there are. Black people are gay too. Absolutely, they are. Absolutely, they are. Right. But there's 100% still discrimination, even in those DEI institutions, against heterosexual black males and heterosexual black women. That still happens. Absolutely. Right. It still happens. All right. And so, yeah, but this is why the dialogue is important, right? Because so many different thoughts, different feelings, different perspectives, right? So we got to talk, guys. But let's move right along to our fourth and final segment before we get out of here, guys. Today's fourth segment, as always, our build of the day. Today's build is on adjusting after career or life-altering injuries and experiences. Breaking a leg, having surgery on a body part, losing a loved one, all can absolutely alter one's professional career and life. We see it in sports all the time. Although I've never personally broken any bones, I've only fractured my ankle a few times. I have been shot and I have experienced injuries and the loss of loved ones that have drastically altered my life, right? I've been in prison, I've lost children, been divorced, lost 3 siblings, lost a dad, granddad, uncle, tons of friends, seen people killed, right? Tons of things that altered my life, right? And so, it brings great grief, right? All these things bring great grief. And so all the stages are on display: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and lastly, acceptance. But acceptance is a process to get there. A lot of people want to rush through. They want their loved ones to rush through, and you can't rush through the stages of grief, right? And the stages are not necessarily in chronological order, right? But this is a tough spot, right? Any injury, any loss, any alteration that changes the trajectory of your life is tough, right? There's identity grief, right? There's all types of grief, anticipatory grief, right? All type of things. And this is a tough spot, but this is why mindset is key. Mindset is key. What conversations are you having with yourself? What conversation are you having in your mind? What are you telling yourself, right? What are you feeding yourself, right? What messages are you feeding yourself? And are you allowing yourself to be fed by the news media, by friends, by family, by relatives, by doctors, right? You got to believe that you can do anything, right? You got to believe that you can do anything, all right? We are about to wrap up. On Love said, I learned ABRA to combat negative self-talk. Acknowledge the thought. Nice. Acknowledge the thought. Breathe, stretch, shake. Release that which does not serve you. Align with what you truly want. Align with what you truly want. That is powerful. That is powerful. That is powerful. That is powerful. I like ABRA to combat negative self-talk. We are going to use that. I would like you to write an article about that for my website. All right. Acknowledge the thought. Breathe, stretch, shake, release that which does not serve you, align with what you truly want 100%. So as long as people have that beautiful melanin in their skin, they will be hated. It's like hating God in the flesh. Absolutely. very real. But listen, guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's an engaging show. It's gonna be more engaging, conversation as we continue to go forward, because the world is crazy. I'm going to always, share my honest opinion and always create space for dialogue, for different perspectives to come and to talk and to discuss, right? Especially if we say that we are in community together, right? It's going to be different perspectives, different thoughts. We got to be able to have dialogue. We got to be able to talk to each other. We got to be able to talk to each other from a listening perspective, right? Not just wanting to share our thoughts and our feelings, but listen to others. All right. Listening itself is an art. All right. But listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Marston. You have been tuned into episode 286 of SR Daily, where personality meets enlightenment. Please do join us right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Instagram Live. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up. The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love.